Welcome back to Beyond Organised. I have the lovely Caroline Thor with us today. I'll give you a quick rundown of who Caroline is, and then you can all give a warm welcome. So Caroline is a professional organiser, KonMari consultant, very exciting, wife and mother of three, including one child with autism, PDA, and ADHD, and another with ADHD. Drawing from her personal experience and professional expertise, Caroline specialises in helping mums of neurodiverse kids create organisation systems, habits, and routines that truly work for their families. She believes a tidy, functional home can transform mental health and well-being, especially for families navigating ADHD and autism. As a KonMari consultant, she follows Marie Kondo's principles, focusing on sparking joy and creating spaces that support an ideal lifestyle. Caroline also hosts the popular podcast Living Clutter-Free Forever, where she shares practical decluttering advice, organising tips and strategies. She also runs the growing online membership Clutter-Free Collective, supporting families in getting their homes decluttered and organised. Welcome, Caroline. So good to have you on the show.
Thank you, Mel. Thank you for the invitation. I'm excited to be here.
Oh, you're welcome. I'm so glad we got to connect. And I've actually loved following you on the socials. And I did listen to one of your episodes a few weeks ago. So good. Yeah, just so excited to have you here.
Thank you. Excited to be here.
Well, getting into it, what inspired you to start your professional organising journey and KonMari consultant? That's exciting.
It actually started years and years ago when my kids were little. So they're now 17, 16 and 12. But when they were all tiny, like under 5, I was super overwhelmed. I was really disorganized. I just felt like I was chasing my tail all the time. And I was a really stressy mum. I wasn't being the mum I wanted to be. And one day because I live in Germany, even though I'm from the UK, I got a copy of British Good Housekeeping through the door that someone had sent me. And there was this article about Marie Kondo and her new book, The Life-Changing Magic. And I was like, oh, this sounds amazing. And I got onto this platform that we all use way too much, ordered the book. It was there the next day. And it literally changed my life.
Wow.
I became totally calm, in control. I had not realized that it was actually our home environment that was causing me to feel stressed and overwhelmed.
Yeah.
And it wasn't until about a year in and we were getting ready to leave the house and I was in the hall with all 3 kids and we were getting the shoes on and the coats. You know, it can be really fraught.
It can be chaotic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it just happened. Everything was in its right place. I wasn't searching for stuff. And suddenly my middle daughter turned to me and she said, "Why are you a nicer mummy now?"
Oh.
And I was just like, oh my goodness.
Light bulb. Yeah.
Light bulb. Like this has been life-changing.
Life-changing. Yeah.
So fast forward, I was actually teaching music and running my own little business at the time. And fast forward to the pandemic and I couldn't teach. I was like stuck at home. And I happened to see online that they were training people online to be KonMari consultants. I didn't even know this was a thing. I was like, oh, I said to my husband,
It's a calling.
I'm going to train.
Yeah.
And he was like, oh, here we go. Another great idea. I'm always having great ideas.
Sounds like my husband. I'm the same.
Yeah. So I did the online training, which took 3 days. I then had to work with a client for a ridiculous number of hours and do their whole home with them and take an exam and all the rest of it. And at the end of a year of doing that, I sold my other business and went full time into being a KonMari consultant, professional organizer. But things haven't quite panned out as I planned them to because my child with autism went into burnout. And it meant that they couldn't leave the house and I couldn't leave the house. And this was just not long after me becoming a consultant. And I wanted something that I could do so that I could continue supporting people in their decluttering journeys. And that's how my podcast came about. It was like my way of putting the
Wow.
word out there and supporting people. And it sort of
Mm.
snowballed from there into online course, online
Mm.
membership. It
Yeah.
has become so much
So
fun, and
exciting.
it fits with my family life, which is great. And then on Saturdays and Sundays, when my husband is home and can and take over the childcare, that's when I go to people's homes and work with them in their homes still.
Wow,
So
you still do that.
I
Wow.
do, yes, and I
Mm.
love that. I love that connection with people. I feel really fortunate. I love all aspects of it, and I love the fact most that I'm helping other women find this clarity and peace that I found.
Yeah.
And that for me it's just it's gold.
Yeah.
It's brilliant.
Priceless, isn't it? It's just priceless.
Hmm.
Oh, that is so, I feel like your story is very similar to mine, though we've gone about it very differently. But yeah, I was that stress head mum as well. And just the thing that broke me was when I actually screamed at my kids. I said this in an earlier episode, and I don't yell. I'm not a yeller at all. And this was a number of years ago now, like when my older ones were very little. And I actually screamed because it was right before Mother's Day event, which I was hosting, and I didn't get to have my own Mother's Day. I'm doing it for everyone else. And I'd been cleaning for days, cooking for days, and then they went and just completely trashed the powder room. And I lost it. And I was that stress head mum, just because I went too far with the organizing. I went too far the other way, and I needed everything to be perfect. And that's when it kind of went, hang on a second, I can't live like this. It's not fair on my kids and all of that. And then there was a couple of years after that when I had hosted another event. I think it was my husband's 40th. It was a bigger event, and I was okay. And my kids were like, oh, mum, you're not going wild, you're not cracking it at us. So I can completely relate to what you were saying when your daughter was saying that, because yeah, and the light bulb goes off and you think, oh wow, no, I have come back to a better balance and got a good balance. And getting on top of your home it's your everyday, it's every part of your life. It is so critical having things just balanced and in order in your home to actually feeling at peace. It is
Yeah.
priceless. So
And
yeah.
I love what you said about perfectionism, because that's actually not something I've ever struggled with. Because I
Good.
am, yeah,
It's horrible.
it is, and I feel very, very fortunate for that. But what I'm driven by now is helping women realize that you don't need the perfect Instagram ready home. Your
Mm-hmm.
home, and this is
Yep.
where the KonMari method I think is great, because you start off by
Yeah.
visualizing your ideal lifestyle.
Yeah.
So you're creating a home that supports the life you want to live in. If that doesn't measure up to what everyone else thinks, bad
It's
luck.
okay.
As
Yeah.
long as you feel comfortable in your space. And this is why I suddenly realized I'd got to a place where our home was organized enough for me to feel calm.
Yep.
It was decluttered enough for me to feel calm. And it doesn't need to be any better than that. And it doesn't
Yep.
look like you could come in and take a photo and post it in
Oh,
some
you are the
magazine.
same as me.
Yes. It's it gets messy. I have
So
3
good.
kids, 2 dogs,
Oh,
2 cats.
it's life. You live in
It's
the
life.
house.
Yeah,
It
and the
happens.
kids should be able to live and leave things
Yes.
out that they're in the middle of. Yes, it should be tidied up at some
Yeah.
point, but the great
Yeah.
thing now is everyone has an idea about, or
Mm.
not an idea, everyone knows
Yeah.
where everything goes back to.
Yeah.
They're old
It
enough
doesn't take
now, and
too long.
it doesn't
Yeah.
take long. We do this 10-minute reset every
Yeah.
evening where everyone helps out and
Same.
takes back stuff. And it's just, it's
Yeah.
life-changing. And I think especially for me having neurodivergent kids, the
Mm.
amount of paperwork that brings is phenomenal. I think any parent, the amount of paperwork and emails and everything that comes with that is just crazy. But the amount of
Yep.
paperwork and the organization that you need in order to attend meetings and all the rest of it, to have that in order so that you've not got this last minute stress of, oh my goodness,
Yeah.
where's that piece of paper we need to take with
Yeah.
us to this meeting? Or where was the
Yep.
email where they said that? That is just life changing.
Yeah. Oh, and I can relate to that. My oldest has ADHD as well. So I do get it. And there's just all the extras. There's all the extras. And
It is.
yeah, I've, got my inbox sorted out and I've got everything organized enough to be able to find things quickly when I need it and fill out the forms and got the calendar on the fridge working out when I'm doing what. I'm just so grateful it's only 1 out of 4 so you're on a whole other level. Like how do you find, doing what you're doing with the organizing and helping other people as well as juggling your own family and household and balancing their needs along with what you're doing?
I'm very fortunate in that I'm not leaving the house on a weekday to go to work. Like I
Yeah.
can fit in my work around my family. So I get up in the morning. My 2 oldest kids leave the house by 6:30 in the morning, which sounds crazy to most people, but they do. And they get themselves off to school. So that's fine. And then my youngest, who's the one with autism, I need to drive them to school. But it's always a case of, are they going to go or aren't they? I can't plan
Yeah.
anything. And I can't
Mm-hmm.
plan any appointments in the mornings and stuff in case school phone and they need collecting. So
Yeah.
I am really flexible. I have my 3 things that I have to do that day. I have my 3 goals.
I'm the
And
same. Oh my gosh.
yay, that's so cool.
I
So
have 3.
I have my 3
Oh.
goals, and usually 2 are for my business
Mm-hmm.
and like move the needle things that I'm
Yep.
working on, and one is
Yep.
like a personal
Personal.
goal where,
Mm-hmm.
yeah. And that could be something to do with cleaning, like
Mm-hmm.
something that I don't do very often because I'm not
Yeah.
very good at cleaning. Or it
Or
could
you
be
just don't
something to
like
do.
it. Like who
No,
likes
I hate
cleaning?
cleaning.
Nobody likes it. I
I
mean,
hate it.
there's a little satisfaction sometimes with vacuuming and it's like, oh, and then the floor's clean again,
Yeah,
but it goes very quickly.
absolutely. Yeah, or it might be something health related, like I'm going to
Yeah.
go for a walk today or
Yeah.
whatever it happens to be.
Something for
So
yourself. Yeah.
I can then see in the morning, okay, they went to school, great.
Yeah.
I now have this hopefully window of 3-4 hours before I need to collect them, which is the longest I ever have. So I can
Yeah.
come home and I usually then work on my business stuff.
Yeah.
And then the other things, once they're home, I can then work around them. So if
Yeah.
they're in the space and the cleaning needs doing or whatever it happens to be, and I can still connect with them and be with them. And then I'll be very honest, and my husband and I were talking about this last night. I work most evenings because I
Mm.
don't have the capacity during the day to do all the things that I want to do and
Yep.
need to do for my business if I am
Same.
going to grow it. So once the kids are sort of settled in the evening, and my eldest, I mean, they go to bed when we
Yeah.
do, so but
Yeah.
they sort of
They're old
entertain
enough to deal with
themselves.
themselves.
If they
Yeah.
make it out of their bedrooms, it's a miracle. Wouldn't
Yeah.
see them even if I was sitting in the living room watching TV, I wouldn't see them. So I
Yeah.
don't have any guilt about
Typical
it.
teenager, hey?
Yeah. So I do a few hours work in the evening if I need to. I do a lot of my podcast recordings in the evening, as you are doing
Yeah.
now,
Yeah.
and that's how I sort of work it and balance it. And I don't believe in this work-life balance thing. I don't
Mm-hmm.
think it exists. In my opinion, there is always going to be a phase where work perhaps needs more time and family then takes a slight backseat. But I mean, I'm not saying,
Yeah.
ignore your kids, but that you've got the energy and the capacity to put more into work. And then there are other
Yeah.
times, like when my kid was in burnout, where that has to
Yeah.
be my main focus and
Priority.
work
Mm.
has to take a back burner. But I
Mm-hmm.
do feel very privileged that I have a job that I can be totally flexible around. I think if you're leaving the
Mm.
house in the morning to go to an office and not coming home until the evening, that is a whole different ball game.
Yep. I know that
And
too well.
yeah, and I feel really honored that I get to have this life, and that I am
Mm.
fortunate. I'm very aware of the fact it's a very fortunate position to be in, that I can support my children
Mm.
in the way that they need at this stage in their lives, because otherwise I wouldn't be able to work at the moment. I couldn't physically
Yeah.
leave the house and go somewhere to work. So I've sort of created this, my ideal lifestyle, if you like.
Yeah. It's amazing that you can do that, that we live in this day and age. And I think that's probably the one good thing that came out of COVID was
Mm.
the more flexibility for that virtual working. So when you're working with your clients, so you still go to their homes on the weekend, what is that like? Tell us a little bit about the inside of being a consultant and what that does, like inside people's homes, if you're allowed to share.
Yeah, no, I love it. One, it's always fun. And I can honestly, hand on heart, say I have never had a session with a client that hasn't been fun. And
Mm.
they will all also say it's fun, which they didn't
Mm.
anticipate it would be. Who thought decluttering and
Yeah.
organising
It
could
could
be
be
fun? But
overwhelming, so fun is good.
yeah. So we do always manage to have fun. I usually spend 5 hours in a block with them, and I work for the whole 5 hours. They can take a break when they need to, but I just work through for the 5 hours.
Mm.
And it's always different, which is what I love about it. Some people would like to start with the KonMari method at the very beginning, as you should do with clothes.
Mm.
Other people, when they contact me, are just like, my kitchen's driving me nuts. And I just
Yeah.
have to have my kitchen sorted out first. So
Yeah.
I'm really
Yeah.
flexible. I'll start wherever the client has their biggest pain point.
Yeah.
And we do focus very definitely on the joy aspect of it. We're not
Mm.
deciding what to let go. We're deciding what to keep.
Mm.
So it's like,
I love that.
it's like, what in your kitchen do you use every day? What do you love?
Mm.
And once we've decided what those items are, then the other items can go.
Mhm.
So it's deciding what to keep, and then letting go with gratitude those things that you've decided are no longer serving a purpose in your life.
Yeah.
So that is really lovely. And then I've always find the really fun bit is then organising it back into the space.
Yes.
And I know, and I know this from the people in my membership as well. When they work on things, they keep going back afterwards and opening the drawers
It's
or
like,
the
oh, it's
cupboards and
so
go,
pretty.
oh, look how beautiful it looks.
Yeah.
Even if it's just your sort of your usual junk drawer,
Yeah.
like the fact
Oh,
of opening it and
there's
it's
order.
tidy,
You can
there's
see what's
order.
in it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's good. And the other thing I do as well is I always say to my clients that they really shouldn't buy any organising boxes or containers or anything
Mm.
before we've done the declutter, because usually they've
Yeah.
got enough containers left, they've got
Yeah.
enough space.
It can add to
Once,
the clutter if you've got too
yeah,
many containers left over.
exactly. And I rock up, which they all find highly entertaining, with a massive bag full of shoe boxes, small boxes that I've saved from packaging,
Mm.
Ferrero Rocher boxes. Do you have the
Oh,
chocolates
yeah.
Ferrero Rocher with
Yeah,
you?
yes, yes.
Yeah.
They're very handy trays for like
They
pens or
are
something.
amazing and the lids as well for like putting in
Yeah.
office drawers for collecting stuff. I actually
Mm.
have a lady in my village who collects them for me from all her friends, and then every few weeks I get a
Perfect.
pile of empty Ferrero Rocher. So I try
So
to be
good.
as environmentally friendly as
Yeah.
possible, that we're not going out and buying loads of new plastic, we're
Yeah.
repurposing stuff. And I love that challenge, to
Yeah.
try and do the whole thing without costing them any extra money. That I love.
Yeah.
And so far it's worked.
Yeah. And plus then
Yeah.
you get used to the containers and the sizes and you know what fits in it, and it
Yeah,
makes life easier when you work with the same kind of materials. So
exactly.
that's so good. So
Yeah.
in your experience, working online and now sort of moving more into that space, what do you think is sort of the main challenge that people face? I know what I'm seeing, but what are you seeing in your space that you think is sort of the biggest challenge around organizing that people face?
I think there are two
Mm-hmm.
in my experience. The first one is just not knowing where to start. They just feel
Mm-hmm.
so overwhelmed
Overwhelmed.
looking
Yeah.
at the space that it's like, I don't even know what the first thing I should do is. And this sort
Yeah.
of, they freeze, and then it's easier not to even
Yeah.
start.
Yep.
So that is the first thing. And then the second thing, which is very genuine from everybody, is they genuinely don't think they have time to do it.
Yeah.
They genuinely don't think they have time. And that has been, I think, my biggest challenge.
Yeah.
Has been helping people understand that you don't need to spend 5 hours in one go. Yes, my clients, when I go to them in their home, that's a real luxury that you can start and finish a space in five
that time.
hours.
Yeah.
But the reality for most of us at home is that we perhaps have got 15 minutes here or there. So what I am really focused on, especially in my online membership, is that we are using 15 minutes when we get them. If we put the pasta on to boil for 15 minutes, I boil my pasta far too long, I know. Everyone keeps going, it's not 15 minutes, it's 12. I'm like, no, I do mind 15. But when you find you've set something off, or you've set the washing machine off or whatever, then what can you do while you're waiting for that to finish?
Oh,
And
you are me.
Yeah.
I say the same thing.
Yeah.
That's so good.
And what we tend to do these days, sadly, is we get our phone out and start scrolling through it.
Yep. Doom scrolling.
Doom scrolling. And what are we doom scrolling? Images of beautiful houses that make us feel like we're not good enough and all the rest of it. So I work really on 15-minute blocks for everything. And it really has made a huge difference in everyone's lives that I've been working with, that they are getting through so much stuff because 15 minutes feels manageable.
Yeah.
And the lovely
doable.
thing is, you don't think like, oh, this is going to take hours. Like, I'm actually set a timer and stop after 15 minutes.
You stole what I was about to say.
Yeah.
I was going to say, well, another thing that I do along with that is a stopwatch instead of a timer. And because the amount of people that go, oh, it takes me too long to do this, too long to do that, blah, blah, blah. And then I say, well, set a stopwatch and actually see how long it does take you. Because there was this one lady that was she kept putting off making her bed every day. Look, it's up to people if they want to make their bed or not, on to say, but she wanted to do it. She wanted to have her room organized and all this kind of stuff, but she kept putting it off because it's like, it takes too long. She set a timer, took her about 50 seconds, and she could do that while the kettle was boiling.
Yeah.
So it's using that time, like as you said, it's doing other things at the same time while you're waiting for something. And so she'd go make her bed while the kettle was boiling to make her tea. And it was done. And then she's like, oh my goodness, I've been putting this off for years. Because it was like, that's too hard. I don't have the energy. It takes too long. Because in her head, she thought it took her 15 minutes.
Yeah.
But reality is, a lot of these things don't actually take as long as what we think they do. So if you are someone that thinks, I don't have the time because it's going to take too long, well, I challenge you to set a stopwatch and actually see how long it takes. Maybe it does. Maybe it takes as long as you think it does. But chances are with these littler things, it does not take as long as you think it does. So,
no, definitely.
Yeah.
And I think the other thing that, because you asked what I find that they find difficult, I think once the decluttering and organising is done, the being able to maintain it.
Yeah.
The not believing that it can stay like this. And that's why actually my whole membership is actually more to do with mindset.
Yeah.
Habits.
Love it.
Like James Clear, Atomic Habits, all that sort of stuff. Habit stacking.
Got the book right here.
All like, so that, and we have this thing in my membership, which everyone finds highly amusing. We have like every few weeks, we have a put the damn thing away week. Because how often do we use something and think, oh, I haven't got time to put this away now, I'll do it later. Well, then later we get distracted.
Yeah.
And by the end of the week, all the things that we haven't had time to put away are lying around. And what are they? They're clutter. And I've got a lovely lady in my membership who actually lives in Denmark. And she said she was out on her balcony the other week pruning some plants. She looked down and saw that the guy had come to check the water thing and whatever. He was getting out of his van and she was about to put the scissors down that she'd been using. Yeah. And she actually said out loud to herself in English, "Put it
Put the
away." So,
Yay!
yay. And she said it took me like 30 seconds to put the
Yeah,
scissors away, and I still had
yeah,
time to go to the door and greet. Well, I had more than time to go to, because he had to get
yeah,
up the stairs.
yeah.
So like these are
So
the sort of
good.
things that I'm when I'm working with my clients in their homes and we're organizing and decluttering, we're talking about all these things at the same time. And
Mm,
I'm sort of helping them see how, when we've finished, what they can do in order
mm,
to maintain it, because I don't want in 6 months' time a phone call saying, well, that didn't work, I'm back to square
yeah,
one again.
yeah.
And I can hand on heart say that has never happened. And I do stay in
So
touch
good.
with people. So yeah, so that's fun.
Ah, I love that. I love that. I feel like the more we keep talking, the more I'm just like, I swear we're the same person. The stuff
Just
we
a
keep
different
coming up with,
continent.
oh, totally different parts of the world, and a slightly different audience, but not by much. So I think we've got more ahead of us
Yeah.
together. I reckon I'm really enjoying this. So I guess probably to more wrap it up, where can people find you? What can they do? Like if they want to hear you, I know you've got your podcast on the Living Clutter Free Forever socials. Let us know where we can find you.
Yeah, the podcast is sort of the main place where I'm putting content out every week. Although I am on Instagram every day. We're on
Mhm.
my handle there is caro.thor. And then I have my website, which people can visit, and that's caroline-thor.com. And
Yep.
there you can find everything.
Lovely. I'll pop it in the description so everyone
Thank
can
you.
find you properly. But it has been an absolute pleasure talking with you. I almost forgot that everyone else is going to be listening into our conversation. I
Yeah,
enjoyed
it
it
was
so
fun.
much.
Yeah, me too.
Thank you for
Thank
coming on.
you.
And I will be sure to keep following you on Instagram and listening to your podcast. And I encourage everyone else to do it too. So you'll get a lot from Caroline.
Thank you. Appreciate that.
Talk to you soon.
Yeah, thanks. Bye.